Welcome back to the pack. And if you're new here, I'm Jody, also known as The Worsted Wolf. You can find me on Instagram at The Worsted Wolf or on Ravelry as Worsted Wolf Designs. If you are logging in today, you've got your coffee, your beverage of choice, we're going to be talking about everything knitwear design. I'm going to share with you some swatches, yarn that I'm using for future projects, just any other resources that have helped me on my journey to becoming a knitwear designer. So stay tuned. Like I said, get your beverage, get cozy, and let's jump into it. So a lot of you might be asking, Jody, where do I start? And honestly, it starts with, and this kind of sounds like, not cliche, I don't know the word for it, but like, no duh, everyone's going to tell you this, a notebook. I have this notebook and, it goes in my purse with me, and I just scribble down any ideas I might have during the day, whether it's an idea concept, something I found interesting, a design I might have seen, in the wild. I'll snap a picture of it and be like, ooh, look at your photos. This cabling on this random sweater in Target was, kind of cool. You should go back and kind of look at that. So, step one, get a notebook. I'm a big fan of having the notebook and just writing down ideas and just kind of how I'm feeling too, because designing can kind of be exciting. It can be frustrating, stressful. So having this to kind of document how you're feeling, I think it's the way to go. So, step one, book. Okay, so you have your little notebook. You've been doodling, sketching ideas, all the things. Now you're like, where do we go next? I personally go to resources. So lots of different knitting books, looking at types of construction that I might be interested in using. One of my favorites at the moment for my future upcoming designs and my soon to be released first design, I use this book a lot. This is the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. I found out about this book when I took my Idea to Pattern course by Megan Nodecker, and it really helped me because there's just a plethora of all these different cool little motifs, and even if you don't use them verbatim, which you can, you're allowed to use that book for this. It's just really nice to sit down and kind of go through and get some inspiration. So get yourself some resources, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, have a look and see what other designers, what other books they use for inspiration. But yeah, I would start looking through your resources. That's been my step so far. So after I have gone in my sketchbook and put all my ideas to the paper, I've gone to my resources, and now it's time to get into some swatching, which is super cool. And I like to write a little bit of my pattern, then knit some, write a little bit of my pattern, knit some, because I kind of have this process, if I don't enjoy knitting it, then I don't expect somebody else to enjoy the process. So I do back and forth, back and forth. It probably makes things way longer, way more complicated, but I feel happier doing it that way because I want to enjoy the process of also designing, and then I want you to enjoy the process of making the patterns I come out with. So that's where I go from there. And yeah, that's about it. And I'll make my sample, and then now I'm actually currently in the process of getting ready to make a call for test knitters. And then once the test knitters are done, then we will release it. And obviously check the pattern to make sure it needs any tech editing and things like that. So at the moment, that's my process. Other things I have done, I reached out to a local dyer, Astor Fiber Co. Her name is Kendra. She owns Astor Fiber Co. And I reached out via email for yarn support. I really loved the colorways and just how beautiful her products looked. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to reach out to her and be like, would you support me in my first design? And she said yes, which was amazing. So she created a custom colorway for me. and it's just, oh, I get like a little bit choked up like thinking and talking about it, but it's just so beautiful. I gave her a description of what I was imagining, and she just knocked it out of the park. So she created a custom colorway for me called Silver Flames, and it's just the most beautiful, smoky, tonal, yummy, yummy skein of yarn I've ever seen. So yarn support is also an option for designers if you want to reach out to somebody that you're really excited about and you'd like to work with. So keep that in mind. Another thing that I am super pumped about with working with another person with my design process is that Kendra over at Aster Fiber Co. is going to offer a special promotion for our test knitters. Maybe this will continue on with our people that like to purchase the pattern in the future when it's released, but we are offering a special 15% off for anybody who would like to test knit for us and purchase yarn for their project. So that's super exciting. You get to try a new dyer, you get to test knit, and you get a promo code. Like, that's freaking awesome. So I'm going to share it with you, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, not of the sample knit because that's coming soon on Instagram, but of the custom colorway that Kendra did for me over at Aster Fiber Co. Okay, are you ready? Look at it! It's so beautiful. It's like a nice, smoky, squishy, beautiful tonal yarn. This is her 75/25 composite DK base, and it's 4-ply. So you're going to get some really nice definition with this. So thank you so much, Kendra. I'm going to cherish this for the rest of my life, which sounds so over the top, but I don't think anybody can truly put into words how it feels to be supported when you're new at something. So the fact that Kendra, had so much like trust and so much like support for me as a new designer is just amazing. So yeah, this is Silver Flames. She's beautiful. I'm gonna put this, where should I put this? I'm gonna put this over here with the other yarn. I'll get into this in a minute. So I really quickly wanted to tell a little bit about what's inspiring my upcoming designs. And if you're like a big book reader or you're just into the fandoms, whether it's TV, art, books, you're going to appreciate this. So my inspiration for my like next, at least like 3 to 5 designs is going to be Court of Thorns and Roses, or ACOTAR. I love these spicy fantasy books. Like, we have an unofficial book club at my salon right now, and me and my really good friend Catherine were like, we just love sexy, hot, fey men. So why would I not want to create knitwear about these sexy fairies? So yes, A Court of Silver Flames is going to be the first book that I am inspired by for the pattern that's coming out to be released. And then I'm going to start dipping into some of the other books and some of my favorite characters. A lot of them are going to be like character inspired. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil my my one that's coming out tomorrow, the pattern release. And I say tomorrow, it's probably going to be today. Like, if you're watching this video today, I'm going to upload it in the morning, and so will the pattern like release like spoiler. So I'm very excited. And we all like a little bonus goodie. So let me show you some yarn that I have that I'm going to use for some future designs as well. So I have Blackbird Sycamore yarn. This is her colorway Antique, and it is fingering and mohair. I'm going to use both together, and I want like a big, cozy stocking knit, like oversized sweater. Probably like a nice baggy but like turtleneck cowl hybrid kind of thing going on. That is going to be inspired by Feyre's sweater. So if you've read the books, and I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't read the books, but when Feyre gets to Valaris, she has this big oversized cream sweater thing. This is going to be that. So that is one of my bigger design ideas. I need to like start working my way up to a sweater, but I have the yarn because when I saw it, it was perfect. Her Etsy shop is amazing. I really like the feel of these. I haven't wound them up or done a swatch yet, but this is going to be yummy. I'm excited for this. And then these guys, as I've got loose string hanging on things. I showed these in my other video. These are Nerd Strings colorway dried roses, and it is a 100% super merino 4-ply. These guys are going to be a shawl. I'm debating whether I want to add mohair to these too or just leave it alone. I'm kind of having like a little mohair kick. Like, do I add it? Do I not add it? We'll see. I'm going to do some swatches. I have a lot of swatching and lots of like construction concepting to go once my first pattern is released. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, this is going to be a shawl, and this is going to be after Elaine. I'm going to do like a garden shawl, kind of lacy, airy, flowy. You can imagine her just kind of like wrapped up in it, kind of tending to her garden, kind of looking around. That's what this guy's going to be. I have other designs I don't have yarn for. I think I'm going to save those for another video, because I could probably sit here for like a long time, like hours, talking about all these different ideas I have. But let's just stop there, and we'll dive into that in another episode. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm gonna kind of stop everything there. We've got a lot of information in this video about the design process, you know, upcoming designs, products, resources, all those good things. If you have any questions or you would like to see something more regarding like how I use my notebook and how I like to brainstorm, then comment below. Let me know. As always, on that final note, thank you as always for tuning in with me. Like and subscribe so you can catch more updates from me. Have a wonderful evening and happy knitting.